Howdy Pooksters, I hope you're all doing well. Today is Sunday morning and I'm having cereal. I have a mixture of shredded wheat and Reese's Cocoa Puffs. I like to mix my cereal sometimes, so I'm using 2% whole milk because it's kind of creamy or 2% milk. It's creamy like whole milk, but not watery like skim milk. Yup. And I got me a cup of coffee in a giraffe cup. Yeah, buddy. I think this is the first time I'm doing breakfast, y'all. I was gonna get a burrito from Taco Loco. They have this one called a hippo burrito and it's so good. And it's huge, right? But I need cash and I didn't have cash with me. So it's barely 9 o'clock and I've had a hell of a morning so far. Let me tell y'all what happened. So for a few days now, I was gonna meet somebody this morning for breakfast at Denny's in a town that's about 20 minutes from me. Well, I set my alarm for like 7 o'clock in the morning so I couldn't have time to get ready because I was gonna meet them at 9. And I woke up about 6:30. And I had a text that they canceled at the last minute. I'm like, well, that's cool. Whatever. I wasn't really happy about it because canceling I was okay with, but I already told people that I would meet them. I had some stuff that I was selling on garage sale. It was like a vinyl sticker and something else. Excuse me. And I lived in the town I was going to. Normally, if you want to buy my stuff, you come meet me here in my town. But I was like, I told 2 different people, hey, I'll be in your town tomorrow morning, meeting someone at Denny's, meet me in the parking lot, and I'll get you the stuff. They're like, okay. So this guy canceling wouldn't have been a problem normally, but now I'm like, well, hell, I gotta drive 20 minutes to meet the obligation I made for these other 2 people. We're talking $7 worth of stuff, y'all. It's really not worth a 20-minute drive one way. But I said, well, I got stuff that I need to take to Goodwill, and that's good. There's a Goodwill in that town. So I'm like, okay, I could probably do something like that. You know, I make use of the trip. So one lady that was buying a vinyl sticker, I confirmed with her last night she was showing up. And this morning I messaged her and said, the person I was going to meet is canceling. Please confirm you're going, because now I'm only going to meet you. And she didn't respond. But the other person also last night was like, I'll be there at 8:45. I'll be driving a red Silverado. I'm like, okay, they're probably gonna show up. So I drive over there at 8:40. He sends me a message and says, I'm gonna have to cancel this morning, but I can drive to your town and pick it up this afternoon. I said, really? My appointment canceled, so I drove all the way over here just to meet you because of the obligation we have. He says, I'm sorry, a pipe in my attic broke. a water pipe or whatever. And I'm thinking, that was last night. You could have told me last night. I was mad at this point. I was livid. And I was like, you do know I was coming from such and such town, which is a 20-minute drive. Common courtesy would have been to give me a little more than 5 minutes in advance notice. So he comes back, he's like, well, give me a few minutes, let me change clothes, and I'll go ahead and meet you. And I'm like, don't worry about it. At this point, I was like, screw you. Don't worry about it. You deal with your pops. You do your thing. He said, I'm sorry I wasted your time. I could pick it up this afternoon. I'm just like, block. Go to Goodwill. Goodwill's freaking closed. So I drove to a town and sit in a parking lot for 5 minutes. That was exciting. 40-minute drive just to do that. Oh, I'm so upset. Irritated. And then you're not going to believe this. I get a text, one of those little random texts from a number I don't recognize. And there's one thing about me, like when I'm done with someone, either we transacted business or something, and I don't need their number anymore, or if I've dated someone and I'm not dating them anymore, and we're not friends. Like, it's like it ended and I told them we're done, or it's kind of something's happened where they played games or something, and then I just delete their contact information and just don't say anything. So I get a text that says, good morning. Because it's a good morning text, I know it's not somebody I've done business with in the past. It's somebody that I knew is probably someone I dated that I cut out. And I said, who is this? Normally I'm like, good morning. Can I ask who this is? You're not in my contacts. But no, I'm just like, at this point I'm pissed. So I'm like, who is this? And he comes back. He's like, really? Again? And he's like, this is blank, but I get it now. And I'm like, there's somebody I dated like 3 times, went out 3 times. I met him back in the day on a dating profile. And he said, his profile said he was wanting to find someone to marry, which tells me he's a little more serious than just wanting to date. So we went out like a few times, but he didn't really show much interest. Like, he lived less than a mile away from me. He works less than a mile away from where I work. But he was not really invested. Like, and then, I don't know, it just wasn't working, you know? And then he would randomly message me. I'm like, look, this is not how you date. Like, if you want to get in a relationship, you got to get to know someone. The only way to do that is to talk to them and spend time with them. And that was like his excitement for the day after working, was to go home and change into boxers and watch TV rather than get to know me repeatedly. I'm thinking, this guy, he's used to being single. That's his joy. Let him have his joy. And so when he said really again, I was like, he said that because I deleted his information before. I said, look, dude, I deleted your information because you're not invested. I'm done with all that. If you want to be friends, I'm more than happy to hang out with you and do stuff, but no romance, none. He's like, well, I like the romance. I'm like, no, not going to happen. You know, well, that's what he wants. He wants to be able to be romantic with no commitment. I swear, people think I'm stupid, and I'm so irritated today already, so. That was that story. I'm drinking my coffee black. Can you see in there? There's a surprise. A surprise, if you didn't see it, will reveal itself very soon. So, I had a rough start to the day. It's Sunday. It's not going to ruin my day. I have one person coming to meet me at lunch. It's somebody that I grew up with. Like, he lived a couple of houses down from me, but he's pretty cool. He actually, we're friends on Facebook, and he travels worldwide all the time. And I travel a lot. Like, I like to take weekend trips and stuff, but I'm a little afraid to do the foreign stuff. But he'll make all these elaborate trips, and he'll do fishing excursions or whatever. He just sets it all up, and he wings a lot of it. So I told him that I wanted to travel internationally. If you needed a travel buddy, to let me know, because I'll go with them. So he hit me up the other day, and he's like, hey, you want to go to Ireland? I was like, I think so. So he's been trying to get with me and just have lunch and catch up, but he's gonna come over. We're supposed to have lunch and talk about a trip. I went ahead and got my passport renewed. So I'm gonna do that. If he cancels on me, y'all, I'm gonna shut the world off. Not you guys, but you know what I'm saying. And yesterday, my friend, I used to work with her. She moved to California, but she's visiting in town. So I met her for some Vietnamese food at lunch. We went by a tea house and got some boba. They had this coffee ice cream. It's like mocha ice cream boba. It was so good. It was so good. It was $4.50 plus 60 cents for the boba. So it was like a $5-6 drink, but it was worth it. It was good. And that's in a town where my other friend that I've been hanging out with lives. So it's too far to drive just to get it. Can you see the surprise yet? I don't know if you can see it. I'm afraid to tilt my glass too much. There's a giraffe in there. Get it? Giraffe cup. Excuse me. It's my daughter's cup. The property management company is trying to rent the house, so that's going along. I have one appointment they canceled, and someone else looking this weekend, so we'll see. I think better rent out. I've had it almost a month now. I figured it would rent fast, so we'll see. They just listed it 3 days ago, so. Let's see. That's pretty much it. I got my bookshelf from IKEA for the office I'm putting together. I have to put that shelf together, so I'll probably do that today. I'm not sitting on the couch being lazy today. Obviously, like I said, it's 9:23. I've been to some other town just so I could sit in a freaking parking lot. having breakfast. Cutting people out of my life. Again. But it's funny, like, last week someone else reached out to me and they're like, I'm single again after a year. And I'm like, who is this? Somebody I dated in the past. So I was like, ooh, excuse me. I'm like, last time I remember we went out on my way home from going, like, he and I dated a lot, like, just dated, not like a relationship. We'd meet, have drinks and wings or whatever, maybe kissed, and that was it. And but one time I went to his house for steak or whatever, and then he came back and it's like, yeah, I'm just not feeling it anymore. And I'm like, cool, you know, done. And I told him, I reminded him of that. He's like, I said, maybe I'm just too fat and that's why. He said, I'm not that shallow. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's what it was, because the gap from when we saw each other before, I gained maybe like 5 or 10 pounds. But anyway, he wants to go out and I'm like, no, look. And he friended me on Facebook because we used to be friends on Facebook. And I could tell he just broke up with her like a week ago. I'm like, you go on with your bad self with somebody else. Can you see him better? This is a cute cup. I think my daughter had another one, but I can't remember what was in it, but it broke. It was a penguin or something. Well, my pooksters, I'm going to drink the milk that's in here, but I'm going to do it without you guys watching. Some people said that they would just watch me eat peanut butter, which is what I made a comment why I don't do videos, because sometimes I just eat peanut butter. I did buy some groceries, so I was like, well, I could eat cereal. For some people, it's about what I'm eating, and some it's about what I'm saying, so I don't know. I don't know. Let me know what kind of cereal person you are. Do you, when you're done like this, do you drink all the cereal and then clean the bowl? Well, let's forget clean the bowl, because some people just don't do dishes, but, or are you the kind of person that just dumps out what's left? I personally will drink it. Oh, well, hell, I'm just going to drink it. Or, also, are you the kind of person that puts the milk in first, then the cereal, or the cereal, then the milk? Some people get pretty persnickety when it comes to the cereal. I'm just curious. Alright. That's it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're not already. Like this video if you didn't already. And I'll be seeing you soon in my next video. Alright? Bye, y'all.